I'm continuing to work through the Sermon on the Mount from the Greek text with commentary as we're working through it. And we have worked our way up through 7:15. The Lord just described the need of entering into the narrow gate. And so he continues to warn against false prophets that would come on the scene and how you would know them by their fruit. So it reads, verse 15, proseket apaton pseuda propheton, chatenes erkantai pras humas in indumasin prabaton, esothen de esin lukoi harpages. That is, beware from the false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inside are raging, ravenous wolves. Notice prasekete is your present imperative, second person plural from proseko. That is, beware or give attention to the fact that from false prophets, beware literally from the false prophets. Apa takes the genitive case here. It could be called an ablative of source. Beware from the source of the false prophets that come to you in a deceptive way. Notice pseudo propheton is your genitive plural, meaning false prophets. Hoitenes, notice here we have an indefinite relative pronoun, who are coming, erkantai, present indicative active, third person plural from erkamai, who are coming. Actually, you think of your present tense, luo, lues, lue, luamen, luete, luusin, and actually this is, I should say, a present who are coming, present indicative middle, luamai, lue, luatai, luamatha, luaste, luantai. So it's the present indicative middle in form, but active in meaning, who are coming to you. Notice pras here takes the accusative in humas, the preposition with the accusative case, who are coming to you in induma, it means clothing of sheep. And notice in here is taking the dative case, and here we have plural, indumasin prabaton, in the clothing of sheep. And notice prabaton is your genitive plural. But inside are, asin is your present indicative active, third person singular from ami, but inside are raging or ravenous wolves. And again, here we have the nominative and lukoi, masculine plural, followed by the adjective harpages, raging wolves. From their fruits, apaton karpon auton, epignosis de autus. From their fruits you shall know them. Notice apa again takes the genitive case in ton karpon. So from the fruits of them, and auton is genitive plural as well, epignosis de you shall know them. Notice this is from epigenosko, and it's the future indicative middle, second person plural from epigenosko. You think of your future middle, lusamai, luse, lusatai, lusamatha, luseste. If we're following luo, the future middle of luo, so you shall know them in full. Why? Because they do not gather grapes from thorns. And notice sulegusin is your present indicative active, third person plural from sulegu. They do not gather from thorns grapes. Staphulas, your accusative plural here. So you don't find grapes from thorns, or a apa trebalon suka, nor do you gather figs from thistles. And suka is your noun meaning figs. And again, we have apa with the genitive in tribalon from thistles. Thus, every tree, hutos pan dendron agathan carpus calus poie, tades sapran dendron carpus panerus poie. Thus, every good tree, and notice again, he's going to talk about what a good tree bears. Every good tree is making good fruit. Carpus calus poie. Notice poie is your present indicative active, third person singular from poieo. And then we have your direct object in carpus calus. So every good tree is making good fruit. But every rotten tree, ta sapran meaning rotten, dendron, here we have the neuter nominative again, but every rotten tree is making bad fruit, carpus panerus. So a good tree, you'll know by its fruit. A bad tree, you also know by its fruit. So look at what fruit is being born. And so then our Lord goes on in verse 18. Udunatai dendron agathan carpus panerus poien, ude dendrans sapran carpus calus poien. That is, a good tree is not able to bear evil or to make evil or bad fruit. Notice udunatai. Dunatai is your present indicative middle from dunamai, third person singular. So a good tree is not able. And then notice carpus panerus, bad fruit, poien, to make. Notice poien is your present active infinitive from poieo. You think of luane as your present infinitive active. Is not able to make then a good tree is not able to make bad or evil fruit. We would say bad fruit. Neither is a rotten tree, dendron sapran, carpus calus poien, is able to make a good fruit. In other words, a rotten tree cannot produce good fruit. And notice poien again is another use of your present infinitive from poieo. And then Matthew goes on, Pandendron me poiun, carpan kalan ekaptetai kai es pur balatai. Every tree not bringing forth or making good fruit is being cut down and is being cast into the fire. Notice again, pandendron, your neuter subject here, singular. Every tree not bearing, this is from poieo, and notice poiun is a present active participle, nominative masculine singular from poieo. So every tree not bearing good fruit, karpan kalan, is being cut down, ekoptatai, from ekopto, present indicative passive, third person singular, from ekopto, is being cut down and is being cast into the fire. Notice ace pur, ace is taking the accusative case, and balo is the verb here. And notice balate, your present indicative passive, third person singular from balo. You think of luamai, lue, luatai. So that would be your passive present form indicative of luo, using that paradigm. Therefore, from their fruits you shall know them. Arage apaton karpon auton epignosis de autus. Therefore, then, in conclusion, Jesus says, from their fruits, here again, we have another genitive case, from the fruits of them, you shall know them. Epignosis, that you shall know in full. Again, notice we have a future indicative middle, second person plural from epignosko, to know in full. Again, think of your luo, lusamai, luce, lucetai, lusamatha, lucesta. So we're looking at a present, a future indicative middle form. You shall know in full. You shall know them. You yourself shall know them. So the bottom line is, you're going to know whether a tree is good or not by its fruit. And that's what the Lord is saying. You look at the fruit of a life to see if one is truly a genuine prophet or not. Then he warns about someday. He'll say to some, I never knew you. This is a very sobering text. U pas halegon moi, curia, es elucitai es tain basileon ton uranon, al hapoion ta thelema tu patras mu tu in tois uranois. Everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, shall not, we could translate it, not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. U is your negative particle. And notice pas ha, we would translate everyone saying. Legon is your present participle nominative masculine singular from lego. You think of your participial form luon, luantas, and so forth, if we were following luo. So everyone who says to me, notice moi takes the dative case here, ego, amu, amoi, first person singular. So everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, curia, curia, everyone who addresses me with that title, not each of those, not everyone, we should say, who addresses me with that title shall enter. A seleucitai, again, is from a serkamai, to enter in, everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, shall not enter. We have the future indicative middle from eserkamai, a deponent verb, middle in form, active in meaning. So everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, shall not enter into the kingdom of the heavens. Ace takes the accusative case in basileon ton uranon, would be the kingdom of the heavens. Here we have the direct object with ace, the accusative. And by the way, kingdom of heaven is another way of saying kingdom of God. In Matthew, there is a respect for the Lord's name. So often the name heaven would be substituted for God, and so for God's name. So I think all he's saying is everyone, not everyone, I should say, who says, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the rule of the heavens or the rule of God. But here we have the sharp contrast. Al hapoyon ta thelematu patrasmu. That is, but everyone who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. Notice ha poion is your present active participle, nominative masculine singular from poieo, a contract verb. And notice ha is your definite article, but the one, and then we would supply who does the will of my Father, who here too is an article in the genitive case functioning in translation like a relative pronoun. So everyone who does the will of my Father who is in the heavens. Notice in tois uranos takes the dative plural in tois uranois. And then we move on. Paloi erusin moi in akene te chimera, curia, utosu anamati, eprafetiusamin, kai tosu anamati, daimania exabalamin, kai tosu anamati, dunames palas, apoiesamin. In other words, there's a question here. Many will say to me in that day. Notice paloi, many ones, here we have an adjective nominative plural, will say, erusin is from lego, future indicative active, third person plural from lego. Many will say to me, and here we have your dative singular again, in that day of final judgment. Notice in takes the dative case, and again we have the demonstrative pronoun ekene, and the noun preceded by the article te chimera. So many will say to me in that day of final judgment, Curia, Curia, Lord, Lord, or Master, Master, did we not prophesy in your name? Utosu anamati, epraphetusin. Notice epraphetusin is from prophetuo. It is your aorist indicative active first person plural from prophetuo, to prophesy. Notice we have an augment in the epsilon here and the sigma with the alpha indicating an aorist tense. So did we not prophesy in your name? Kaitosu anamati, daimonia, exebalamin. And did we not cast out in your name demons? Did we not cast demons out in your name? By the way, notice again, kai, just your conjunction, followed by your dative in the article in your name, to su, anamati, dative singular from anama. By the way, this is a third declension noun, anama, anamatas, anamati, and so forth. And in your name, did we not, and the u here is continuing to carry over in this clause, did we not cast out daimonia, demons in your name? Notice exabalamin is your second aorist indicative active first person plural from ekbalo. Did we not cast out? And notice in the second aorist here, you have reduced to one lambda, and you have the epsilon with the x, again showing that we're looking at an eris that is functioning as an augment. So did we not cast out demons? And kaito su anamati dunames palas poiesamin, and in your name did we not do many miracles or powerful works? Again, notice dunames palas again is in your accusative case, and poiesamin is your aorist indicative active first person plural from poieo. Did we not do many miracles in your name? And then, and this is the sad part, kaitata hamalageso autois, hate udepate egnon humas, apakoreta ap emu hoi ergatsaminoi ten anamian. That is, and then I will confess. Notice hamalageso is from hamalageo, to confess. Future indicative active first person singular from hamalageo. Then I will confess to them. Again, we have the dative plural in autois. Notice to them, if we were looking at the how to decline it, autas, autu, auto, auton, toi, auton, autois, autus. And so here we have, then I will confess to them that not ever did I know you, egnon. I never knew you. And egnon, again, is a second aorist from to know, genosko, second aorist, I never knew you, indicative active first person singular from genosko. So I never knew you. And humas is your accusative plural of your second person, se, su, soi, se, humes, humon, humin, humas, your accusative plural. I never knew you. So depart from me, those who are working iniquity. Notice apakorete is from apakoreo, a contract verb, present imperative, second person plural from apakoreo. Depart from me, ap emu. Again, notice apa takes the genitive here. Depart from me, those who are working iniquity. Notice hoi, ergatsaminoi. Here we have a participle, present middle participle, nominative masculine, a plural from ergazo. You think of your present middle participle, and you have, remember, haluon is your active, luamenas, luamenas, luamenu, luameno, luamenon, and then luamenon. That would be your nominative masculine plural participial form using luo. So depart from me, the ones who are working themselves, so to speak, lawlessness, or that which is iniquitous or iniquity. Tain anamian, the direct object of this present middle participial form. So again, that is a present middle participle nominative masculine plural from erkadzo, to work. So this is a very awesome and, in a sense, fearful text. The Lord is saying people may do some things saying that they're doing it in his name, but he'll say, I never knew you. And so it's important that we really know the Lord. It's not always all that we do in his name, but do we do things in his name because we know him, love him, and have a personal relationship with him? I think that's what the Lord is encouraging his hearers and encouraging us to make sure that we truly know the Lord, that we know Christ, and that we're going to do what he's asked us to do.